Mama. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you how I am able to sit in my pantry, which is maybe a little bit weird, but for far too long this has just been something I was able to put behind closed doors and forget about it. But now that it is clean and tidy and organized, it makes so many aspects of my day so much better. So come along with me as I show you how I cleaned and organized my pantry. I hope that this will just give you a little bit of motivation to maybe tackle your pantry or something in your kitchen. So let's get into it.
All right, so this is our pantry before I got into it and organizing. The top is not as bad, but as we get closer and closer to the floor, it gets worse and worse. It's probably been a few months since I've really tended to this space, and what tends to happen when that goes for so long is that things just get put wherever there's room, and you kind of keep building up, and you don't go to the back of the shelves to really see what you have. So I decided to approach this by cleaning out kind of sections at a time. The nature of taking everything out at once didn't seem feasible because my boys could wake up from their nap at any moment, and so we just kind of approached it in pieces so that if I had to pause, I would be able to. So really just looking at all of the food that we had, combining bags, because when your pantry is messy, you end up opening extra bags of things that you have already had opened, but you didn't know because you couldn't see them. I'm a Montessori teacher, and maybe you found this video because you like pantry organization, or maybe you found it because you were watching some of my other Montessori content and this came up. And believe it or not, order and organization is really important when it comes to implementing Montessori, because it's through this order and beauty as well that we can cultivate more independence. And well, right now, the pantry is really used mostly by my husband and I. At some point, our boys will be actively going into our pantry to get food or to help make something in the kitchen. And it's going to be really important that it stays functioning so that they can. Otherwise, I even found myself now like always closing the door so that they would never get in there. But now that it is clean, I actually can let them kind of play in there and look at the jars and things like that. And it's safe for them when I'm getting some things done in the kitchen. But it requires me really tending to these areas. So one thing in Montessori is that there's open shelving, because that allows us to see what's available. And this is actually really important for me as an adult, not just for children to be able to like see their toys, but for me as a homemaker to be able to see what ingredients I have. It makes me a better steward of our budget because I'm using up what we do have in our pantry and not just rushing to the store to get things that maybe I don't need when I have an alternative. And so this work of organizing and bringing order to spaces really has multiple benefits. As I'm going through cleaning, it's kind of through a few layers. One, just simply getting like the gunk off of bottles and containers, combining foods that are the same, and then categorizing items together. So I put kind of all my really quick access baking things like vanilla and salt and baking soda, baking powder, those ingredients all really close together. I got these baskets a few years ago at Walmart, and they've served us really well because I can wipe them down easily. I can see through them enough, but they're not closed either, so it's really easy to put things in and out of them. Obviously, it's kind of easy also to put things that maybe don't belong in the basket in there, but they seem small enough that they work for making categories of my food items. So kind of categorizing items that are related. So I did create one basket of all like sweeteners. So I put sugar and honey, and we have some like alternative sweeteners like monk fruit and things together. And then maybe some of those more random baking items like cornstarch and arrowroot powder and cocoa powder all together. Putting all of our pastas and our grains in one basket, all of our dipping chocolates and baking chocolates together. So just categorizing things. This helps it to just be easy to grab. Also putting things that are grabbed often more towards the front or on those wall shelves that I have. And then I find by adding baskets and jars and emptying the contents of some food items into jars that it just is a little more beautiful. And it does require like refilling things, but it seems to be more enjoyable for me to measure out flour out of a jar rather than a crinkly bag that makes noise and naturally just puffs flour everywhere when you do it. It does take some effort to refill things every so often, which is why I don't do everything in glass jars. Also, that's really expensive. We've simply used what we've had. I enjoy that little extra effort so that when I'm using these items in my kitchen, they're just a little bit more enjoyable to use. One thing we did install when we moved in was this wall shelf for cans and things, which has been super helpful just because the nature of these deep shelves, they're so deep that you can't really use all the space super well unless you use baskets, but cans on them just make them like really heavy. And so we found this and I really like it. It's very customizable with what you can put, and it doesn't take up much space and just uses that wall space really well. Since I've been living with my pantry cleaned and organized this way, it has created so much more inspiration for me in the kitchen and in cooking. It also has just inspired me to be a better steward of the food that we have and using things up. We do have a little bit more storage out in our garage for just some more like bulk items, but I kind of restock this indoor pantry every so often so that it functions very well for our day-to-day needs. I hope this has inspired you to maybe bring some more order into your kitchen area and see if that will inspire you in your work at home. If you are looking for some more homemaking inspiration, or you're curious about Montessori and you just want someone to walk with you and guide you, I'd love to be that person for you. So consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I will look forward to sharing with you each week about how I'm bringing order and beauty and Montessori together through this art of homemaking, and I want to share it with you. So I hope that this may inspire and encourage as well as educate you on your journey. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time.